everyone, I'm Julia Stefani and I'm from English Education Program Study, and today in this video I will review about the new Netflix movie that called The School for Good and Evil. So let's get started. It's based on a beloved story. It has the ideas in place and the cast. We're gonna talk about best friends Sophie and Agatha find themselves on opposing ends of an epic battle when terror swept away into an enchanted school where aspiring heroes and villains are trying to protect the balance between good and evil. And guys, this movie is rated 13 for violence and action, some frightening image. It's not something I think 13 years old would be afraid of while watching this. So, it's definitely for families. That's what it confided to be, and maybe even a younger audience that they're, shooting for here, because while watching this, I felt as if it's something that's not quite hitting my age group, even as well as they wanted to like you have some scary moment, and the violence in here occasionally doesn't hold back. That's why I'm watching this. 20 minutes in, I'm like, oh, it's a family film, and then we'll have one scene and one character dead, to where I'm sitting back going, oh, well, that was extremely violent, and our character are using something called blood magic. And I'm like, okay, well, we're getting pretty intense and, like it say, frightening in some of these scenes, so I do appreciate the occasional veering into that darkness. It felt like a story that should have been darker altogether. Now I can speak on how this captured the book, how it captured the story, but you have a fascinating story here. You have both of this school side by side. I was getting Hogwarts 5 when we first entered that world, and I like the fact that they're just total opposite from each other. You have one extremely icky and gothic location where one of our character is dropped into, and that character doesn't feel as if she should be there, so she goes in and completely out of place with some of the most like type of being you can imagine. They're supposed to be evil, and you get shit of that, but I've seen more evil people before. And then you have the school for good, and everyone dressed up. It's nice, the fancy clothes, the beautiful colors. You have the knights coming in, and they think they're doing everything right, and the school for good is trying to be good. The school for evil, well, they're trying to be evil. They go into this individual classroom, and you have professors that are like, yeah, we're evil, we're going to do evil things. It's a little cliche. I mentioned this Sky High because that was a school for superheroes, and it plays it in like this quirky, young, youthful way, and that's exactly what this movie does, except the school for good, you have descendant of character that you will recognize, so that was really cool. Same for the school for evil. But the entire point of this story is to show how this friendship between Sophie and Agatha progresses when they are dropped in this location, and how maybe everything that they imagined one definitely isn't playing out when they first get dropped there, but two could be heading in a very different direction from what even the professor in the school could see, because there is this backstory here. That way you're given at the beginning that kind of credit the school for good and evil, and that backstory comes into play because there is a mystery with this movie and something that we are building up to that, yeah, you're probably going to be able to see coming from a miles away, but they are at least trying to keep you on the edge of your seat as you progress. So I appreciate the fact that movie tried to do that, even though there are several reveal in this film that the writing just doesn't do a good enough job of hiding from you, and maybe the intention were to hide so hard that you kind of see what's coming, but I don't think that what is trying to. I just didn't find anything creative about the execution of that. You also have a massive supporting cast here. Yes, our two lead and they are the focal point throughout the entire movie. But Kerry Washington, Lawrence Fishburne, Charlize Theron, who is embracing this evil role with her mannerism. So yeah, Kate Blanchett. So it's like you have the most taken cast of all time, and each of them are giving a committed performance. The costumes are a huge standout with this movie. They look incredible. So yeah, I think that's all for my review for this movie. Thank you guys and bye!